Canada's House of Commons votes to grant Raif Badawi citizenship. Okay.
Wait, I was muted. Wait, I was muted. I was muted. All right, there we go.
Mazel tov, Canada and Raif.
Okay, so, and if you guys don't know who this is, we're going to tell you why this is important. The House of Commons in Canada was unanimous in voting for a motion demanding Raif Badawi be given Canadian citizenship. Raif Badawi, the Saudi blogger, was sentenced to 10 years in a penal institution and 1,000 lashes because he established a web-based forum to discuss Saudi Arabia's social issues. The now banned website was called the Liberal Saudi Network on Facebook. It was the Liberal Saudi Network, and it was on Facebook. The Saudi officials accused him of insulting Islam and convicted him in 2012. His wife, 2 daughters, and son reside in Quebec. The legislature voted in favor of the Bloc Québécois, which is a federal political party in Canada devoted to Quebec nationalism. So Bloc Québécois' motion to ask Macro Mendicino, who's a member MP, who's the Minister of Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship, to offer citizenship to the imprisoned Saudi activist. Badawi's wife, Ansaf Haider, stated, quote, even if it doesn't change Raif's conviction, even if he stays until the end of his sentence, which is June 2022, it would boost Raif's morale. It would boost our morale too. It will mean that when he gets out of prison, he will be with us right away.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Ansaf and her kids too. And she is a tireless campaigner in support of her husband, and she's pretty amazing woman as well in her own right. So good job.
Yeah. And this is the third attempt to grant Badawi Canadian citizenship.
Wait, why has it failed? This seems like it's such an easy win.
Well, let me find the background information on why.
Oh, sorry, I put you on the spot. Okay, I'm going to read Imam Hussein comments. Imam Hussein saying, I highly recommend people look up his work. He's a true champion of secularism. Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. And he took so much risk for it.
Conservative MPs opposed a similar motion in December 2019, which was also presented by the Bloc Québécois. Ansaf Haider, Raif's wife, traveled from Sherbrooke, Quebec to Ottawa, Ontario. Unfortunately, she left the court discouraged. Raif was on another hunger strike during that time.
Yeah, this is actually a major would be really good and all, but I have to understand that this is also a major favor to Canada. Canada will be a much better country for having Raif as a citizen. Like,
God, yes,
it should be. It should be an honor for Canada to have something. It's Raif as a citizen. Yeah.
Here's some. But government sources hindered the idea of granting citizenship to Raif Badawi, stating that, quote, we're not totally convinced they would improve the situation. They added that it could make things worse for him. But his family is very excited that even if it's mostly just ceremonial.
All right, so I'm not going to say if they're doing, like, if that's the concern, I don't know whether it's legitimate concern or not a concern. That's a because without knowing I've been in cases like this to know like whatever happens in the background is a lot more nuanced and a lot more complicated than a lot of people usually understand. So if that's the consideration and not it might be legitimate. Okay, I'm not saying it is or not, but it's better if that's the calculation rather than some other stupid reason that I imagine it could have been, right? So again, that needs to be evaluated, and I know a lot of people who do decide these, they have a lot more information than we do. Again, I'm not saying whether it's a good idea or not, but if that's the calculation, I'm glad that something like that is being discussed rather than like, oh, some anti-immigration kind of stuff. But Rivka, you want to say something?
I was gonna say that I agree with you that they were thinking ostensibly about Raif's welfare rather than some other reason. But I feel like if Ansaf has been trying to do this before and she continues, that there must be, aside from the morale boost, there's got to be, at least I would think in her mind, some thought that it's not going to necessarily negatively affect his situation, because she's been attempting to do that, I would think. I don't know. But again, like you, I mean, who knows all the infinitesimal minutia. But I know that they're able to talk to him on the phone occasionally, and his morale has been really low. And this is something that gives him a sense of hope, which for political prisoners is extremely important.
Yeah, especially since we reported a few months ago that there wasn't very much information about it at the time, but his wife communicated to the press that he said to her that he had basically survived an assassination attempt within prison recently. Well, and that was so there was a long period of time in which they had no communication, which was unusual, and it was during that long period of no communication that this attempt on his life took place. So just a few more details. When he read the motion, bloc leader Yves Francois Blanchet highlighted that Marco Mendicino had non-obligatory power to authorize citizenship, since Raif is in a, quote, particular and unusual state of distress. Quote, it's a moment we've been waiting for almost 9 years. Now that this is a formal request from the House, Justin Trudeau and Minister Marco Mendicino must act now. Every day counts for Raif Badawi and his family, as his health in prison is constantly in danger, Mr. Blanchet stated.
I hope the calculation is not secretly relations with Saudi Arabia, right? As much as this going forward, if it does go forward, we're going to congratulate Canada for doing this. That doesn't mean that we're not going to criticize Canada and shame Canada for the fact that they're still selling weapons to Saudi Arabia while using it on Yemeni civilians, even though United States now seems to be ahead of Canada in putting a freeze on that.
And Italy.
And Italy apparently as well. So I hope that this is not secretly about that, again, I don't know, right? But yeah, and somebody mentioned that. But guys, do not like, some people think like this is like are a little bit too happy. This is like, this guy, he's still gonna be in jail. Like, he's still in Saudi Arabia. He's still stuck there. Like, this is good news potentially, because I'm hoping that if he gets a Canadian citizen, it's going to be very damaging for Saudi-Canada relationship to hold a Canadian citizen in jail. So that's the potential of it. But like, let's not be like, don't wash your hands off of this. This is like just only a small step. Like, we've been look, we actually interviewed Ensaf Haider 3 years ago. Like, I don't understand. Somebody in live chat saying maybe invite Raif and Ensaf to AR or secular jihadists. How could we invite Raif? He's in jail. He's in Saudi Arabia. He's in jail. But we did invite. If you actually search for secular jihadist Ensaf, we had her on 3 years ago, and because she couldn't speak English, we had even a translator to translate all her answers. So you guys could go. This was 3 years ago, and she's been fighting to get Raif out of jail for so long, and she hasn't stopped.
Almost 10 years. Almost 10 years.
This is crazy, yeah, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Armin. Are you still talking?
No, just one last thing. I just feel like sometimes Raif in jail thinks like I think his case has been forgotten, and I think one thing that this does is just helps bring it back to attention. But yeah, go on, Rivka.
So I wanted to just bring up the fact that Quebec and the city of Montreal have condemned his detention and his flogging, and the mayor of Montreal in 2015 requested that he be sent to Quebec, and they publicly condemned it. So Quebec has been keeping, Raif in the news there, at least in certain terms of talking about him, continually holding events, and of course that's where Ansaf lives. But it's just something to bring up that the people in that part of Canada and in the city of Montreal and in Sherbrooke, where she lives in Quebec, have continuously supported him, kept him in the news, kept his name out there. And so I feel like it's an extension almost of the work that they've been doing, that the House is finally saying, yes, give him citizenship and sending it to the Prime Minister.
Yeah, and I mean, it just bears stating that this isn't official yet. He's not a Canadian citizen yet. There are still several more people that need to sign off on this, including the Prime Minister. So this was just the House of Commons. Like, it's amazing forward progress in this, but it's not official. And so it still needs to be pushed forward to become official. But yes, I'm always on the lookout for news regarding his case. And that was an excellent update this week that I knew we had to cover.
And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like, I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.